welcome everybody to our live stream. We want to say thank you guys for tuning in with us today on this Thursday, March the 12th. We have some special guests here in our podcast room. I'm going to let them introduce themselves to you, our wonderful audience. I'm going to let Mike speak first, and you can do the introduction, but I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
Cool. Look, I want to give everybody a second day. It's a cool ladies that are online, and it's a phenomenal. You don't want to do it. We are tuning in the day before, so first.
For 5 cents. I was that little girl who always just wanted to see people happy and whole in relationships. Because if your relationships are good, it really disrupts a lot of things in life. And so I'm so happy to be here to talk about relationships on whatever level that we talk about them on. Awesome. So thanks for having me.
Cool. Great introduction, Nneka. You did your thing with that introduction. Shout out to Nneka, one of the coldest relationship therapists.
Thank you.
Yes. And right next to you, we have the one and only, and I let him introduce himself. He's somebody special.
What's happening? Chef Twin, owner of Twins Tacos, Leonard Curry, senior, Apple Junior. I'm trying to change the world one taco at a time. Started my business in 2019. I just want to do something different. I wanted to be an outside food vendor. I didn't want to barbecue. I just wanted to do something that was different. And tacos, I'm the only one in the city that do a fried catfish quesadilla. You know what I'm saying? So I'm coming up, and Young Dolph gave me money to start my business. The Memphis rapper that got killed. So I'm truly blessed. I'm living out somebody else's legacy, but yet, honoring my deceased child's mother and representing my boys and just making tacos, quesadillas, lamb chops, wings. Just an all-around chef that work with your budget. Do my thing.
Cool. A great introduction, Twin. I want to thank you also.
Twin, we just want to make sure that you on Do Not Disturb so that you don't get popped out of the live stream.
Yeah, I'm on.
Okay,
cool.
Fantastic, perfect. So, Mike, you want to do introductions about who you are?
Oh, you gotta go last. Listen, the one and only Mike C from the hottest podcast starting now. Look, the menu, live cast, look, podcast, the menu, and we live in effect on this Friday Eve. We on.
We are excited to be here. We wanted to bring so much value to our audience because we've had so many men chime in with us about no one's listening to them. Okay, all of these different issues are starting to transpire, and they feel, men that we talk with, they feel that their voices are being muffled.
Wow.
Okay, and so we wanted to add some security to allowing everybody to know, okay, when you tune in with us and you subscribe with us, we're going to add another layer of value to our show. We don't call it a live show for no reason. It's live because we get in the grit with our people and we try to help them navigate through the challenges of life.
For sure.
So this
Sure.
is our first opportunity to have Nneka here with us, and we want to open the floor with our title and our topic today. Mike, you wanna engage the audience with what our topic is?
Uh, we got a couple good topics. We really want to engage with our audience and let you know that it's definitely mental illness awareness
Yeah.
month. So we really stand strong on that. And there's a lot of people that's really out here that's battling with mental illness. So we really want to touch on that. We got a couple good topics.
We're talking about the emotional needs that men have that no one's talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to lead off in that, and then wherever that transpires, we'll go into that as well.
Cool.
All right, Miss Nneka, how are you?
I am good. I'm trying to stay right here.
All right.
On the screen.
I like to look at people. I can't. I'm like
She's
this,
a looker.
like that.
Right.
So you're our expert here, and we all have an experience, and so everything here we're talking about outside of her expertise is our experience. Just some housekeeping rules. We want everybody to finish their thought respectfully, and then we're able to chime in thereafter.
Sure.
Miss Nneka, we're talking about the emotional needs that men have that they're not talking about. Can you elaborate a little bit on why men, mostly from your experience, tend to hold back to describe what it is that they need from their partner?
Well, and thank you for that question. Very good question. I think historically, men have not been encouraged to express any emotion besides anger.
Mm.
Men have been encouraged to suppress their feelings. There's statements like "man up," "don't cry," and so when you have those constant messages, men are not necessarily encouraged because they're feeling they're going to be judged, so they shut down.
Mm. Twin, do you have that experience where maybe you were groomed to men don't cry, men, you just push through your emotion? Was that your experience as growing up as a boy to a
Yes, absolutely. You hit that on the nail, girl. What's wrong with you? How much you charge?
Right.
I'll hurt some money. No, yeah, growing up, yeah, it's just like man up, don't cry.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be vulnerable. You can't pour out. You can't ask for help.
Mm-hmm.
And then that explains why so many people take their own lives or deal with mental because they can't talk to nobody, can't express it.
Mm.
But yeah, you hit it on the nose. You ain't lying. Be a man. Don't cry.
Did you ever break out? Like, at what age did you break out of that? When you start having children, or was it still kind of embedded inside of you? I know for myself personally, it was like it was some of that was back in my memory brain. Like, man, I got this trauma, and it's like it was kind of challenging for me to even like kind of hug my son to really embrace him.
Mm. No, when I really in depth being a father, my boys, Lil Leonard Jr. and Lathan, they lost their mama.
Mm.
And man, when I tell you, it's different. It's different when you lose your dad, okay. But when that mama gone, that's a different animal.
Yeah.
So I said, hey, it's okay to cry.
Mm.
Cause I'm crying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let it out. I'll be less than a man to say, hey, you can't. Your mama gone. You can't pour out your feelings.
Right.
Man up. How you gonna tell your son man up how you lost your mama?
Mm-hmm.
No. And that's why I kept my boys busy.
Mm-hmm.
You keep their mind off, thinking about their mom. I ain't trying to forget their mom, but
Right.
if I didn't keep them busy and they would have went down the wrong path,
Mm-hmm.
they would have been all in their right because they didn't have no guidance. But me, I kept my boys busy.
Mm-hmm.
And I created my business because of them,
Mm-hmm.
to be in a financial crutch for them. But yeah, after they lost their mama, it was rough. We all crying.
Yeah.
First holiday, first birthday, we all crying. I ain't say, hey, where the tears at?
Right.
Where them tears at?
Right.
Your daddy here to hold you, but we'll cry.
So if you don't mind, we can kind of just go back to that because that really hit home when you lost your wife.
Yeah.
The day of the service,
Mm-hmm.
when everybody went home, you guys were alone.
Yeah.
Did that part hit you the most when it was just like you were looking in the room that you were once in with your wife and now she's no longer there?
Yeah. It was. I tell you this. My the boy's mother. She taught me so much.
Mhm.
Right. The only thing she didn't teach me and her boys was to live our life without her in it.
Wow.
You hear me? That's something that I didn't even want to learn.
Mhm.
If she was trying to teach it, you get what I'm saying? So it was a void, but I stood up to the plate, and when I tell you I was in that hospital,
Mhm.
she had lupus. She passed from lupus. She fought for 5 years.
Wow.
And when I tell you, I made it my right to cheer her up. And
Yeah.
we used to watch Yes Say Yes to the Dress.
Mhm.
My lines weren't good now. I mean, back then, but they're good now. But we would just talk about, dang, what if the lines was good? Now they good. She ain't here, But she watch it down. But, it's growing pains. But, I mean, I got through it.
Yeah.
Most fathers don't understand the power of washing your kids' clothes. When you wash your kids' clothes, you find out what they don't have, what they need, what's too small. You eliminate that phone call to say, hey, my boys need. No, I already know they need. I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
So I made it easy for her to fight for her life. Hey, you fight for your life, daddy got this. You know what I mean? So that's where the foundation of me, being open up, honest, vulnerable, like we used to have arguments, but it was good arguments.
Yes.
She'd say, she'd come home from the hospital and she needs to be, her immune system, she got to stay away.
Right.
But bring in my babies. No. The doctor said, like the doctor, All right, I'll bring them. You know what I'm saying? But, man, it was a beautiful, it raised me to be a bigger man, not for myself, but for my kids. But just being vulnerable, it takes a special man to step up to the plate after the mother passed away. Yeah. And I did a good job.
You did. You did.
I did a good
You
job.
did. And with that being said, most men aren't really trained to step into that role as a single father, raising the children. You most oftentimes hear the women rearing the children or raising the children. And we've had men on our set that were just that. They were phenomenal single fathers raising kings and teaching them how to go in and out amongst the people and still have their pride and still have their integrity and all of those wonderful character traits. As of right now, with this void in your life, how do you balance your emotional well-being with your children's emotional well-being?
Just being busy.
Taking time to
Taking time to hey son, how your day going? How's your mental? Like just really reassuring them their safety. Like safety can go a whole lot of ways. It can go from I want you to be safe when it comes down to your mental. I want you to be safe when it comes down to your well-being, teaching them life lessons, stuff like that. But just normal
conversation.
The day-to-day conversation. I want you to open up and talk to me. Yeah, I encourage. Hey, son, is it a girl at school you like? Yeah. I'll pay for your first date.
That's good.
And then I say, hey, son, I got money. When you going on your first date? Yeah. Come on now, we gotta start dating now. Tomorrow. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that.
That's cool.
So yeah, that's it per se.
I appreciate you sharing that. And this is Dr. Bonds to Nneka Owens, one of the most top relationship therapists in the Detroit area.
Yes.
You really, in your line of work, do a lot of men of his caliber kind of open up in the midst of losing someone?
Well, like you guys said earlier, I think it really depends on the life experience. I think it's so hard for a lot of men to process pain. And so, like you said, men are taught to be protectors, leaders, providers, and it takes some intentional work to actually process your feelings, process the pain. And I think you said something earlier. You said something about it takes a full year to fully grieve the loss of someone. You talked about the birthdays, the holidays, about that loved one. And it sounds like, like you said, it is difficult, Mike. It is difficult. However, when that pain can run so deep, I think when people come to me, they're at the point where they want to heal. They don't want to be in such pain. They want to rise above the pain, not forgetting the loved one. Right. Sometimes people feel like they have to busy themselves up so much and not think about it. I hear what you're saying. I think that is good to be busy, but at the same time allowing yourself a moment to grieve. And so in my counseling sessions with men that are grieving, whether it's the loss of a divorce, of a spouse or a loved one, it's almost like you have to give them permission to grieve. They have to give themselves permission to grieve, permission to feel pain. Because, like I said, a lot of times people tell men to suppress their emotions. You can express anger, because if you express anything else, it's a sign of weakness. And so it's good that you allow your kids to express their pain, and then they see you do it too. So the example that you show them as well makes a big difference. So the whole processing period of, like I said, men that I've counseled, it is, they're a little more vulnerable. Once they get to the point of counseling, they're ready.
Okay. Yeah. I found it that, even with, losing my mother, so it's like when you talk about your son, I went directly into their shoes with losing a mother. And I didn't know how to grieve. And I was in my 20s. So it was more challenging. I didn't see a psychiatrist, I didn't see a therapist. I really was like, I'm just gonna get in the shower. And when you mentioned about staying busy, it was the times that when I stopped and I was like to myself, and that's when everything hit me. Like I would look at my mom's toothbrush. I would look at her car. So these are things that was like reflecting in my mind. I'm like, man, I gotta snap out of this. To the point where I found myself kind of like driving myself crazy because I was no longer just losing a mom, but I was responsible for the service. That family members did pitch in, right? So it was like a lot on my back at 25, and then 7 weeks later, my only brother was gunned down. So the trauma was hitting me all kind of ways. And when I started dating after my divorce, I didn't know how to even date. Because it took a lot on me to say, okay, Mike, did you ever really know how to grieve? I really didn't. And it's been 13 years later.
So with that being said, because he mentioned he didn't know how to date, and Twin mentioned, I stay busy. Do men at this stage of that trauma know what they need from a partner emotionally, from your experience? Would they know, and how would they articulate that?
Yeah, it definitely depends on everyone's life experience. And so often the channels are crossed. People are not necessarily understanding what said partner may need. So, but it requires a level of intention.
Okay.
And I think a lot of times, if you really, people sometimes they stuff pain and suffering down so much that when they get in a relationship, it's through our interaction with each other that we come to learn things about ourselves. And so that's the beauty of a relationship. So when people are in relationship with each other, it's like you mirror each other and you see something in her that she may not see, and vice versa. Like, ooh, I didn't know that. I know that about myself. So I think that's the beauty of a relationship. If you're being intentional about it, that's the beauty of a relationship, to be able to glean from each other, sharpen each other, and then learn some things about yourself, because sometimes things become so normalized that you don't know. You don't know that you're shutting down. You don't know that you're withdrawing, because a lot of times that's what men do, because they don't know how to express anything, any emotion. But I'm not saying all men, but some men only know how to express anger. So when you find someone withdrawing or shutting down or being angry, there's another message there that they don't know how to communicate, and it's up to that partner to say, there has to be something else underneath that. What's underneath that anger? What's underneath you withdrawing? And so being able to just kind of navigate relationships, I think is important, and knowing your partner.
Wow.
Do you think now in this generation of dating and new wave trending of how people are meeting through speed dating and all these different platforms. Do you think people take enough time to explore that dynamic of asking each other, let me figure out what's the underlying issue, or are most people ready to just bounce out?
With the latter, yes.
They're ready to get out of the thing.
Yeah, people are ready to just end ties with people because it's uncomfortable. It's easy to get in a relationship, but the managing pieces was really difficult for people. And so people would rather just, like you said, just disconnect and cut you before they put in the hard work.
Yeah.
That relationship muscle. People just don't want to build that relationship muscle.
Yeah.
And that takes some intentional work.
I found that, it was challenging letting the person get next to me. The minute that I feel like you were getting close to me, I would run because I never felt that nurturing. I felt survival, right? So it's like, okay, let me be a mystery to the world. But I became a mystery so much, I became a mystery to myself. So even when I would go places, it was like, man, you don't even belong here, But I hear from the world, so people didn't really know Michael. You know what I'm saying? They just knew Money Mike, right? And it's like, well, man, I'm really Michael. But going through that trauma, it's like the streets had already gave me my name. You get what I'm saying? So I had to live by that name, and it was like I was really like I was cheating my own identity. So that was a challenging part with myself. So.
Absolutely.
But I really appreciate you guys. It's really at home. Wow.
How do you Twin, this question first is for you. How do you, and feel free to ask me a question. I'm not a man, but I got an emotion, right? I'm an emotional creature.
You ready to?
Yeah, I'm an emotional girl, right? So how do you start to, now you're going through the day-to-day routine and you seem to have everything structured accordingly. How has it been re-identifying yourself as a single man with your children? Has that been hard for you to do that apart? You were a union and now you're single. Has that identification process been hard for you to do, or has it been easy?
It's been easy. Yeah, it wasn't hard.
Okay.
It just, I can honestly say this. Okay, being there for your boys after they, being there for my boys after they lost their mama, I had to forget about myself. I had to focus on them. So my relationship, all that stuff, I had to take a back seat. And I'm not even considering me.
Okay.
Worried about my boys.
Okay.
So that will be, just think about it. And mama just passed. You think they accept another female right away, or even years? No, they ain't accepting
It's
nothing.
not happening. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and then you have some women that accuse me of sleeping with my child's mother, and she passed away. I know you still with your baby mama. Oh, you got two boys. Oh, I know you. Oh, okay, I am. I just sent an obituary. Who is this? Oh, that's my child's mother. You said I was sleeping with. Oh, so, you know what? It's nice talking to you. Click. You know what I'm saying? Then a lot of women can't even accept, like, okay, why are you talking about your child's mother? She's dead. Wow.
Right.
And you can tell these women are, some women, not all, some women, it's just horrible. They are terrible.
Wow.
So I stay away.
Yeah.
I just focus on my boys. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's come on, black women, do better. Like accusing me of sleeping with my child mother, she passed away.
Yeah.
They want to post you, but before they meet your kids. And then this is the crazy part. You explain to them, hey, I lost my child's mother. Da, da, da. You never asked about my kids, but I asked about children. So it's like,
Yeah,
I'm
you're not
okay.
the one.
I'm okay. I just stay.
I know that you mentioned, you was like, you kind of, you refer back to the boys a
Yeah.
lot, right?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, what happens when they get grown and it's just you?
Party time. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for that one, man.
Yeah.
I think I got somebody, but I gotta keep it separate from, until, because I don't want to introduce them to something they rejected.
Gotcha.
Because I'm the type of parent, and you got people out here, married people that don't even like their kids. Now, if you don't like my kid, and my kid don't like you, I'm not doing it. So keep it separate for right now, Daddy gotta leave. And I don't make tacos for nothing, you know what I'm saying? Daddy gotta leave, you know what I'm saying? But my happy ending is coming, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's coming on the way, but I will be able to, once I get here, express to my boys, because they're super clingy, they're super, I'm the only parent there, so
Right.
you can only imagine, yeah.
Wow.
They still to this day. I remember 2 years after 2 years after my child mother passed away, I was shopping for some shoes for my 14-year-old now, and he's 12. But he was like, I was talking to a young lady trying to get a discount. So he's like, Dad, I said, what's up? He said, you cheating on?
Wow.
I said, what? Oh, come on, son. Don't do like that.
Wow.
Really? Oh. So,
In front of
even, she like, oh my God, no.
Wow.
Did he just say that? I said, yeah.
Wow.
I'm like, oh, son, like,
Yeah.
that went crazy. So just keep it separate. Nah, they ain't no, it might not never be ready, you know what I'm saying? But I do want to offer, you know, make it easy for them to, get ready. That, and then depending on the person too.
Mm-hmm.
Some women are not nurturing or, they don't like,
They don't know that.
F you, I just want the daddy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But to find somebody that wants you and your kid,
That's what it is.
oh yeah, it's possible. It's possible.
I notice that you go, when I see you out, your concerts, you really know how to have a good time.
Oh yeah,
That's what
I
I'm
got myself. Yeah,
I see that, and you be like front row.
yeah.
So you really know how to put on clothes and be able to go out in the world and really kind of involve yourself and get back in the groove of being twin.
Mm-hmm.
So I really I recommend I really I love that about you, man.
Oh yeah.
Nika, do you suggest that process of dating yourself in the regard that you take yourself out after a long marriage or after a breakup from a long relationship? What is some of the steps to healing from that emotional trauma or those wounds from that relationship, whether it be death or divorce, et cetera, et cetera? What are some of the steps that people usually go through in a healthy way to get to another level?
The grieving process consists of depression, anger, bargaining, denial, and acceptance, right? So people kind of go back and forth with those things. Like you're angry. You're like, okay, I can't believe this is happening. And so once you start going through all those stages of anger, depression, denial, bargaining, this I would do this if I could have this person back. Once you get to the place of accepting, like, you know what, they're no longer here.
Okay.
Then I think it's time. I mean, I think you'll always kind of here and there, feel depressed about it, whether it's a birthday that comes up, whether it's a holiday without your loved one. But once you get and you're solid in accepting it,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's time to start living life because I think your kids need to see that because our kids they take our lead.
Yeah.
If you speak positively about it, like, you know what, I love your mom, there's nobody that can take her place. But one day, I am going to date one day, just kind of preparing them for it as opposed to keeping things secret. You don't necessarily introduce people to your kids. but not being secretive, like, oh, I ain't seen nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then that's, here you got used to seeing somebody, but now they got to catch up to where you are. And I think, it just kind of makes it, because you want to be in a relationship with someone. So, so
Yeah.
once you get place of accepting that the person is, no longer with us, and everyone's different.
Yeah, I remember recently, it was a while, I was ironing my clothes, and it was a song that came on, and it reminded me of my mom, and I just bawled, and I couldn't stop crying, and I went into the living room to get her picture, and I set it on the arm board, and I said, man, I just miss you. Because this song made me want to call my mother, be like, Ma, you please, but it comes to song, family, it's all right now, and that was her jam. So it was like, and then on top of that, I was going through like a financial stage. So it was like I needed somebody to just call, just to talk to, not just to give me anything, just say, Mom, I want to hear your voice. And I stayed looking at that picture, and it was like, man, this lady ain't nobody like you. And the tears were just flowing. I had to get myself together, but I said, you know what, this is healthy.
Absolutely.
And when I was able to wipe the tears, I hopped in the shower, because that's like my therapy shower. And I was able to go on that day with just making it. Now I could have went out and had a drink. I could have went and popped a pill to really soothe my hurt, but it was a natural high. And I think that she needed to see me break down because I haven't grieved over 13 years. So that was really my testimony to say that we do cry. I think that a lot of men at certain ages, especially like in the 40s, we kind of got our own little group of men that we be around. We don't want any new guys, and it becomes challenging because it's okay to get new friends. It's okay to go out in the world and, go to concerts and it's like, man, when you lose that one, whether it's your mother, your wife, your son, it takes a part of you and you don't know how to recover because unfortunately I never knew my dad. So that's another trigger. So it's like, man, if I didn't have my children, who would I really have? So I thank you,
That's
Anita.
good, man.
Yeah, that's
Transparency
good.
is very
Well, you can call me, man. I'll pick up.
Appreciate
You can call me by mistake. Hey, man, what's good?
That's love. That's love.
Call me.
Anika, with these both gentlemen, they use the word nurture in their story. Um, do men that have wounds from their mother look for women like their mother? Is that sort of a phenomenon? If they have or had a relationship barrier and or a great relationship, do they oftentimes look for women subconsciously like their mothers and daughters like their fathers when women are looking for men? Is that a tendency where you see men looking for women that remind them of their mother?
I guess on some level, it depends on the relationship of that mother.
Okay.
That mother and that son, it really depends on that relationship. If it was a good relationship, I would think, yeah, some characteristics of their mother, that they've grown accustomed to, they
Okay.
would probably want to see it in a mate.
Okay.
But I often counsel a lot of men who don't necessarily have close relationships with their mothers,
Mhm.
and they don't necessarily, run for any hint of somebody like their mother.
Okay.
So they don't necessarily, so it makes it very hard for them to even connect with women
Mm.
because they haven't had a good experience with their mom.
Mm-hmm.
So it really depends on her. I would think though, from the men that I've counseled that do have a good relationship, sometimes they do pick some characteristics of their mother that they like to see in a mate. But I think sometimes that can be a little unfair. I'm not saying that you don't want the good trait, but if you're looking for this person to be, exactly like your mom, if you had a phenomenal relationship with your mom,
Mm-hmm.
it can be a little unfair because it's some variations. I mean, the person can have some resemblance of your mom in terms of character traits,
Mm-hmm.
but what if she's not exactly like your mom? I don't think that should be the standard.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find that men that wasn't close to their moms end up being great husbands or the opposite?
They're very clingy.
They're very clingy.
Yeah, you have a lot of men who don't have good relationships with their mom. They can be a little clingy. Yeah, and women will see that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so it's misread because they don't trust.
Sure.
So people automatically look at women as nurturers, and that's not always the case.
Yeah. Does that put a lot of pressure on women that are, and when you can answer after Anika answers this, do you think that's a lot of pressure on those women that are quote unquote nurturers to get into a relationship with a man that's putting all of the weight on her or vice versa to help heal those wounds? Is that fair to do?
It's not fair to do, but I think if we're having, I always encourage my couples to, you gotta communicate the details.
Okay.
People get in relationships and don't share their stories, and then you're judging them. So I'm not saying I'm condoning, somebody being obsessed and clingy and, oh, I can't live without you. I'm not condoning that. But at the same time, if I know your story, I can kind of help you work through it, because to me, that would be like a turn off without knowing the details of that person's story. So I think it's important that people get into relationships, and if the relationship is worth investing in, share some stories, some pivotal things in your relationship that's important to know for that person to know. It's so important. Sometimes things just come up out the blue, and by way of something coming up, you learn things about that person, but there's things that that your person can benefit from. You need to share that. I remember, I love my dad, but I think I was so, if he was disciplining us, he would put his hands behind my neck, right? And I don't like that.
Yeah.
So I remember dating a guy, and I'm like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong? He was a very tall guy. He would rest his hand on my neck. I'm like, do not do that. And it was an opportunity for for me to explain my dad would do something. He would kind of control me that way.
Wow.
And so that was a trigger for me. And so again, that was an opportunity for him to learn that about me. And he never did it again. I don't date now. There's someone else completely different. But yeah, so it's things like that people need to, communicate, and not just if things.
Yeah.
Because people don't know.
They don't.
They don't know what they don't know.
Yeah, don't grab nobody next out there, brother.
There's nothing about it.
You gonna be in trouble.
Right.
Right. Don't throw no paper towel.
No, please don't do that, because that's a trigger, especially if you was in a domestic relationship or domestic abuse. Twin, do you find yourself giving too much information to women in the past as you dated or initiated to date, giving them too much of your story too soon that may have caused them to be unprepared for that level of emotion?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
My son, my daughter, I got two boys. I'm letting you know whether you want to get on this train or not. But they don't, they just so intellectual, not smart.
Yeah.
But I say just come healed. Like, I want to be healed.
Right.
I want to make it easy for you. I want to be healed. I ain't about to take you through what I've been through. I feel like I owe it to myself to come healed. So you won't have to work hard. I don't want my love language.
Yeah.
I tell everybody, this is my love language. Okay? Whoever I'm dealing with, my love language is to see you happy. That's my love language. They gotta add it, because a lot of people don't understand that kind of stuff. Like, I wanna look up to the woman that I choose and I wanna be with, but I wanna come healed. You ain't about to suffer
Right.
for what another nigga or female did to. No, I'm good.
Good.
I'm good.
Wow. What would you tell a lot of men today, man, if they were sitting in front of you, if they were trying to get over something, whether it's a relationship, not necessarily get over death, but you never get over it, but just to be able to heal themselves, what would you tell these men?
Man, pray, get on your knees, pray to God, have a relationship with Jesus. That's the only one that can help.
And that was your testimony.
Yeah, that's on my knee.
Wow.
God, I come to you with a bowed head and a humble heart. Every prayer, that's what I said. Come to you with a bowed head and humble heart. That's all I said. But as I start on my prayers, I pray for my boys, pray for my business, pray for me, pray for my family. That's it. But that's a develop a relationship. He will show you the way. He will give you signs. He will be there.
Yeah.
At one time, I felt like I was kind of angry at God.
No, I didn't understand that.
I,
Man, I can understand that. Because I was mad at him. But not for long. Because, and that's how we got to get have that relationship with him. God won't take you through nothing that you can't handle. And, sometimes, we be selfish.
Yeah.
Like, who are we to say he can't take his children? He died on the cross for us. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
So if he wanted his children to come, because he could take the boys long. It was just us preparing for her to go. So
I think that it wouldn't have been a lot of responsibility on me. I think that it would have been more easier. But there was so much responsibility on the 25-year-old at the time. It was like, okay, I'm accepting this death. Okay, now I got to pay for it and try to grieve afterwards. It's like, God, I don't even see you. That's how I felt at the time. So I would wear all black every day, man. I would like catch a plane, hoping the plane would crash. I went out and bought a bike, hoping I get in a motorcycle accident. Nothing worked. So
look what you said though. He had your back and you didn't even see it.
I didn't see it.
Watch this. You had to bury your mama. And you had to pay for it. In order for you to come up with the money to pay for it, what you gotta be? Busy. You gotta be busy to make the money to pay for it, right? Which means your focus is different. Okay. I don't necessarily have um you know the, when I think about my mama constantly, I'm thinking about making her last day a special day. You know what I'm saying? So he had you. You just didn't see it. You know what I'm saying? Because he was like, oh well, okay, you 25. I took my child. You gotta pay for it. You gotta get busy. You gotta work to get the money to pay for the funeral. But yeah, I'm gonna take your mind off of. I ain't gonna take your mind, but I'm keeping you busy, so you don't have to worry about that. But yet,
I see what you're saying.
yeah.
People going crazy. So
Yeah.
you already had your mental. I just wasn't trying to see.
Yeah, oh, no, I understand that. Go ahead. But hindsight now, like,
Oh, I
ooh,
totally understand.
I ain't know you had to pay for it too. Oh,
Yeah.
because you know that that's something painful, and how your relationship with with him and your mom, whatever the case may be. So he's like, oh, what? I gotta do something. Keep busy. You gotta pay for it. Yeah, but hey, you did it. She had a wonderful service.
She had the, and
Beautiful
that was
service.
beautiful that you guys shared that. And I appreciate your vulnerability as well, both of you. Let me ask you personally, Mike, because you were in a marriage during that time, and this kind of goes into our topic, and you had children. What did you need from your wife emotionally to help cushion some of that pain?
I needed I need like mental support. It was like, just somebody to kind of just hold and talk to. And I didn't get that. So it's like,
You think if she would have allowed that mental support that you needed, y'all still be married today?
no,
Oh, yeah, it still would. Oh, okay.
nah, because there was other challenges that we were battling. I
Okay.
wasn't going through that. So it's like, okay. And I had to look at her. And one night I would just look at her. And I was like, man, she don't even know
What I'm
what I'm
going through.
feeling.
Yeah.
So I went downstairs and I sat at the table, man, and I'll never forget. I literally felt myself stroking out. My whole right side had went up, and I'm like, God, you can't do this to me, because I was worrying so much that I was allowing myself to go into a stroke, and I felt it. It was completely not. I never forget, man. And I said, man, I got to snap out of this. So I've been looking at her, going to the funeral, looking at her, just trying to figure out, okay, what did you? And I had to understand she don't even have it. she didn't have what I really
She
needed,
didn't
which was
have
that
what I really
moral
needed, which
support.
was that
You
moral
know what I'm
support.
saying? So I think
You know
that
what I'm saying? So I
you
think
have to
that
be careful
you have to
when you
be
get in
careful when you
relationships
get in
to
relationships
understand that
to understand that
when you dealing with a
when you're
woman, if
dealing with a
she don't
woman,
come in a
if she
game
don't come in the game
understanding what moral
understanding what
support
moral
and support
support
just in
and
general,
support in general,
we as
we
men,
as
we
men,
need to hear
we
something,
need
man.
to
We
hear
need to have
something, and we need to
reassurance
have reassurance
sometimes. You know,
sometimes.
baby, you
You
doing
know,
nice.
baby,
I
you
see
doing
what you. It
it.
was none of
It
that.
was none of
So
that.
when
So
everything
when
was over,
everything was over,
I started
I
looking at her
started looking
funny.
at her funny.
I started
I started
resenting her.
resenting her.
And at one
And at
point,
one
I
point,
felt like
I
she was
felt
to
like she was to
blame
blame
for
for
everything.
everything.
Mm.
And it wasn't
And
her
it wasn't
fault.
her fault.
It was like
It was like
life.
life.
But you
But
start
you
triggering it
start
like, man,
triggering it
you
like,
wasn't
you
here.
weren't here.
You know,
You
your
know,
mind
your
playing
mind
tricks
playing
on you,
tricks
like,
on
you
you,
know,
like,
looking
you
at
know,
the
looking at the
person, and she's
person.
like,
And
what
she's
are you
like, what are you
talking
talking
about?
about?
And I would
And I
take
would take
arguments,
arguments,
I would stay
stay
out,
out.
and that was kind
It's
of my
kind of my
life,
life,
you know,
you know,
until I
until I
realized
realized
that it
that
was
it was
me
me
that had
that
the
had the
trauma and
trauma and
hurt.
hurt.
And I
And
was
I was
kind of
kind of
reflecting on
reflecting on
everybody. So
everybody.
you
So
know
you
this
know this
saying that
thing that
say,
said,
you know,
you know,
man, you
man, you
bleed on
bleed on
people that
people
didn't
that
even
didn't even
touch
touch
you.
you.
That's what I was
What I was
doing.
doing.
Is
Is
it
it
hard
hard
for
for
men
men
to
to
say
say
because
because
we
we
say it
say it
very
very
well to
well
our
to our
gentlemen,
gentlemen.
hey, I
Hey, I
really
really
need you
need
to
you to
hold
hold
hands
hands
with me.
with me.
I
I
don't
don't
want to
want
have
to have
sex
sex
with
with
you.
you.
I
I
just
just
need
need
to
to
feel
feel
your
your
comfort
comfort
and
and
your
your
presence
presence
in
in
this
this
environment.
environment.
Or,
Or, you know what,
I
I
just
just
need
need
you
you
to
to
console
console
me.
me.
We
We
can
can
say
say
that.
that.
Women
Women
usually
usually
have
have
a
a
very
very
high
high
aptitude
aptitude
to
to
talk
talk
like
like
that.
that.
What
Man can't say that.
men
Men
can't,
can't,
but
but
what
what
can
can
they
they
say,
say,
Anita, to
to
help
help
women
women
understand
understand
or
or
look
look
some
some
clues?
clues?
Now, if
Now, if
he's
he's
going
going
through
through
that
that
with the
with the
funeral
funeral
and
and
she's
she's
busy
busy
with
with
the
the
children
children
and
and
they're
they're
kind
kind
of
of
in
in
two
two
separate
separate
worlds,
worlds,
what
what
could
could
have
have
been
been
some
some
words
words
to
to express,
express, or
or
vice
vice
versa,
versa,
with
with
any
any
man
man
in
in
that
that
predicament?
predicament?
For
For
women
women
to
to
know,
know,
like,
like,
hey,
hey,
okay,
okay,
let me
let me
put
put
these
these
kids
kids
on the
on the
back
back
burner
burner
for a
for a
minute
minute
and
and
just
just
be
be
with
with
him.
him.
What do
What
they
do they
need
need
to
to
say
say
or
or
do
do
for
for
us
us
to
to
know?
know?
Well,
Well,
the
the
first
first
they
they
would
would
know
know
how
how
to
to
process
process
their
their
pain.
pain.
Okay.
If they don't know how to, if you ask them how
How
to
to process
process your
your
pain, they
pain.
don't
You
know
don't
what
know
you
what you
need
need
because you're
because you're
so in
so in
that
that
mindset of
mindset
being
of
a
being a
leader,
leader,
provider,
provider,
protector,
protector,
problem
problem
solver.
solver.
You don't
You don't
necessarily know
necessarily know
what
what
you
you
need.
need.
You're
You're
so
so
consumed
consumed
with
with
fixing
fixing
things
things
and
and
everybody, you
everybody. You
don't
don't
really know
really know
what you
what you
need.
need.
And so
So
it
it
would
would
require
require
somebody
somebody
on
on
the
the
other
other
end, because again,
hand.
men a
Men a
lot of
lot
say,
of
I'm
times I'm
overwhelmed
overwhelmed
right
right
now.
now.
Mhm.
And I would say,
Man,
Man,
you
you
did
did
say
say
that.
that.
Oh,
Oh,
you
you
sad.
said.
no, I put the
I'm
to
first
the
to get the
right
right
woman.
You
woman.
wait.
For
For
real,
real.
but
But
that would
that would
be
be
a
a
toxic
toxic
woman.
Yeah,
woman.
yeah.
That would be a
Be a
toxic
toxic
woman
woman
that
that,
that would
that
kind
would
of
kind of
label and judge
judge
men,
a
and
man.
that's
And
why a
that's why
lot of
I
men don't
don't
go
go
to
to
some
some
women
women
because they
because
feel like
they feel
it's
like
not a safe
that
space
No,
for
it's
it's
you to
not
not
a
the
be
same.
safe
in.
space
Right,
for
it's
It's
you to
right.
be
not
in.
it's not a
Right,
safe
right.
space. Not all
Hey.
women,
Safe
I don't want
space.
us
Not
to
all
rag on
women, but I don't
all
want us
women
to rag
because
on
there's
all
someone
women
that like
because there's
here
someone that
who
Mm.
know
here
how to
to
receive,
Yeah.
receive,
the good and the
the
bad.
good and the bad.
But some women have
But
not
some
been
women have
taught
not been
to
taught
receive the
to
good and the
receive
bad.
the
They
good
don't know
and the
how
bad.
to
They don't
create
know
a
how to
safe
create a
space
safe
for
space for
anybody. And
anybody.
so it's not
And so it's not
personal. It's
personal.
just a
It's
I
a,
don't know how to do
I don't
it
know how to
because they
do
haven't
it
been
because they
taught
haven't
how
been
to do
taught
it. They
how to do it.
haven't
They
been
haven't
taught how
been
to use
taught
the
how to use
proper
the
language.
proper
They
language.
get
They're
emotionally
emotionally
bankrupt.
bankrupt.
Wow.
And so
And
it's
so
not
it's
a
not a
personal
personal
thing.
thing.
It's like,
It's
I
like,
don't know how to do that. I
I
mean,
mean,
you have,
you have,
again, people want to
people
say
want to say
women are
women are
automatically
automatically
nurturers and
nurturers
caregivers.
and
It's
caregivers.
not.
That's
Not,
true.
not.
No, they're not.
They're
No,
not.
they're
So
not.
don't put that,
So don't put
that
that,
on every woman
that
because they
on
haven't been
every
taught
woman
that.
because they haven't been
Mm.
taught
So
that.
would you
Mm.
have known at
So
that
would you
time
have
to you know what, honey, I am. And this is what I need from you. Would she have been able to give you that? When you think about who she was as a person, would she been able to do that? Think about it. If she knew how to do it, she would have done it. Right? People are just withholding. I got this skill in me and I'm not gonna give it to you.
Right.
I know what I have. If I don't have it, I can't give it to you.
So based on when you meet a person, because you marry based on the interaction that you have with this person, and they show you certain things that you start to adore or start to, man, this would be a good person for me to have children with, or what, she look good and she's talking this or he's doing that. What do you think at this stage, if you're going into like a second marriage or a new relationship, what are some of the components to look for or even just express to a potential partner that you're moving in a safe space to be in a healthy emotional relationship? Because the first marriage failed based on, okay, if you knew she wasn't emotionally supportive at the beginning, why did you marry him? Right? If he was gonna be this and you knew that, why did you marry him? So what are some of the things that we need to have as boundaries to have a healthy, supportive, emotional relationship?
I got it.
Do it.
Peep this out. Right on. One
One
word.
word.
Well, two words.
Mhm.
Relationship survey.
Survey.
Businesses have surveys
Survey.
for what?
For what?
How they can
How they can
make their
make
business
their business
better,
better.
what not
What
to
not
do,
to do. What to do.
whatever the case
Whatever
may
the case
be.
may
That's
be.
good.
If you
If
apply
you
that to
apply
the
that to the
relationship
relationship
side,
side,
I want to
I
have
want
a
to have a
relationship
relationship
survey.
survey.
That's good.
Hey,
Hey,
Mhm.
what am
what
I
am I
not
not
doing?
doing?
What am I
What am I
doing?
doing?
Yeah.
Being
Being
happy.
happy.
The
The
things I
things
can
I can
work
work
on.
on.
I
I
want to
want to
work
work
on
on
being the
being the
best
best
version
version
of
of
myself
myself
for
for
you.
you.
They
Fantastic.
say, I
I
don't
don't
want
want
to
to
love
love
you
you
my
my
way.
way.
I
I
want to
want to love
love you the
you the
way
way
you
you
want
want
to
to
be
be
loved.
loved.
A
A
lot
lot
of
of
people
people
do
do
that.
that.
So
So
you're
you're
not
not
loving
loving
me
me
the
the
way
way
I
I
want
want
to
to
be
be.
loved. Yeah. You
You
love
love
me
me
the
the
way
way
you,
you,
you
you
know
know
what
what
I'm
I'm
saying?
saying?
Love me
Love
the
me
right
the
way.
way.
I
I
feel
feel
like
like
relationship
relationship
surveys,
surveys,
sex
sex
surveys.
surveys.
These
These
are
are
two
two
things
things
we
we
can
can
have
have
conversations
conversation
about
about
pleasing
pleasing
you.
you.
Lick
Lick
twice
twice
up,
up,
one
one
down.
down. I
Want to please you. I
want to
want you
please you. I
to
want you
not to
not
stray
to
away.
stray
I
away.
want
I want
you in my
you
life,
in my life,
like the
like the
therapist
therapist
said.
said.
You got to
You
work on
got to
that
work on that
relationship
relationship
muscle,
muscle,
and that's
and
I
that's
feel
I
like will
feel
be
like will
a
be
in
in
today's
today's
day and
day
age,
and
and
age,
that
and that
opens up
opens up
you being
you being
vulnerable
vulnerable.
because now
Because
I'm
now
telling
I'm
you
telling you
what I
what I
want,
want,
Mhm.
what's going to
what's
work
going to
for
work for
me,
me,
what's my
what's my
non-negotiables,
non-negotiables,
etc.,
etc.,
etc.
etc.
Relationship
Relationship survey.
surveys.
That's good.
But in addition to that, I always say we should talk about warning labels. You know how things have warning labels?
Yeah.
Because we need to know that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, if you touch my neck,
Mm.
I mean, break your,
No, for sure.
my hope. But it's serious. I feel like these are my triggers. These are the things not to say that we can't, we should, I really feel like there are certain things that we should be working through. We should just say, this is what it is. Yeah, we can. And get boundaries.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes we do have to kind of work through some things again, just be all, so disconnected with our partners that they can't be easy. You got too many triggers.
Yeah.
You work on those triggers.
Gotcha.
So we want to address a comment from our audience and we're running out of time. So I want you guys to chime in with this question or this comment. It says that, and this is a man speaking, he says, we are like little kids in a way. Take it from him, and he's a man, and we want attention. Do you guys agree with that? Do you want attention, and what's the attention that you're seeking from a healthy partner?
I don't require a lot of attention. I just require love. You know,
Okay.
attention that's for children to me. But just to be acknowledged when I'm walking around. Hey, man, how was your day? You know, let me kind of get a breathe because I'm already out there dealing with the world. And when I come home,
Come home with
it's like it's more trauma at the crib than out in the streets. So it's like, okay, did you pay the bills? Okay, you know me keep the consumers. Okay, what are we gonna do about practice? Hold on, babe. Hold on. Let me get it together right now. Let me take this off, hop in the shower, and we can kind of talk. So I just require just a little love. That's it. Because I've been dealing with just survival all my life. My thing may be different from a young man that's, asked the question. Mine is love. His may be attention, you know, and reassurance. So what about you, Troy?
attention.
Attention.
It's good
It's good
attention.
attention.
That's what I want. I mean,
That's what I want.
and that's healthy. Good
And
attention.
that's healthy. Good
But just
attention.
attention, just
But just attention,
Like you want to
you.
exist to this person.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I want to feel
I
it,
want
brother.
to feel.
I want to feel.
I
Yeah,
want to
I'll
feel.
take the
Yeah,
attention
I'll
for
take the
200
attention for
every day.
200.
Yeah. And he says that
And he says
if
that
you want to be
if you want to
heard
be
and you
heard
want to
and
be
you want to
loved
be
on
loved
and
on and
dependent on,
dependent
do
on,
you
do you
enjoy
enjoy
your
your
family depending
family
on you?
depending on
Is that a
you? Is that a
pleasure?
pleasure?
That's a lot of pressure, man.
I ain't gonna say it's a
It's
pleasure.
it's
It's
not a
it's
pleasure.
not a
It's a
pleasure. It's a
responsibility without a
responsibility
pleasure.
without a pleasure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a lot of pressure. Because when you depend, it's like daddy do everything. Like, okay. But then nobody thinks about daddy when daddy's hurt. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it kind of reminds me of Mother's Day, Father's Day. You know, it's like, I want to sit down in a restaurant, man, and be like, Daddy, we got you a gift. Dad, I really appreciate what you did, for paying my car note. It's like daddy's just kind of like, okay, work it till you die.
Well, I
Well, I
disagree
disagree
because I
because
believe
I
from my
believe
own
from my own
experience,
experience,
I had to
I had
teach
to
my
teach
children
my
how to
children how to
appreciate their
appreciate their
father.
father.
And
How
how,
many women doing that though?
well, y'all
You're
know,
exceptional.
yeah, well, I
You're
appreciate it.
exceptional.
Thank you, twin. And
And
even to
even
this
to
day,
this
did
day,
you call your
you call
dad?
your
Did you
dad.
buy
Mm.
him a
Mm.
gift?
Yes.
Gabrielle, go
Gabrielle,
talk to
go talk
Grace.
to
You guys
Grace.
need to
You
go
guys
see
need to
about your
see about
father.
your father.
And you have
And
to
you have
teach
to teach
honor
honor
to your
to your
children, to honor
honor
the
the
person.
person.
See,
See,
see, she teaching, and this is the problem in black households. Black women, some black women. She teaching her daughters how to be wives
Yeah.
without even not even knowing.
Yeah.
You teaching them how to be wives. How many black women, single mothers, is teaching their babies how to be wives? They're not.
Do you believe that it's because big mom, a lot of big mamas are no longer here?
The big mamas is 35.
The new big mamas.
Yes.
Okay.
That's, am I lying?
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And
and
we're
we're
gonna,
gonna
we
we
might
are
have
gonna
to
have
come
to come
back
back
and
and
touch on
touch
this
back
right now.
on that
We
one.
want
One
Nneka to
Nneka
have
to
the
have the
last
last
word
word
on
on
this.
this.
Nneka,
Nneka,
how
how
important
important
is
is
it?
it?
Emotional
Emotional
needs,
needs,
well-being,
well-being,
mental.
mental.
How
How
important
important
is
is
honor
honor
in a
in a
family?
family?
And
And
how do
how
men
do
and women,
men
single
and
or
women,
married,
single or
start to
married,
teach that in the
start
dynamic
to
of
teach that
family?
in the
I
dynamic
think
of
it's important
family?
that we just
I
don't
think
put
it's
it over
important
on
that
men
we just don't
alone.
put it over
Mhm.
on.
'Cause I like how you said that you
Because I
were
like how
teaching
you
your
said that
kids, but I
you were
think
teaching
at the
your
same
kids,
time,
but at
men
the
need to
same
open
time,
up.
men
Mhm.
We can't keep
you
teaching
can't
this
keep teaching
toxic
this
masculinity
toxic
that they don't,
masculinity that they don't.
that's toxic. Only
That's
men,
toxic.
they're
Yes.
Only
just strong and powerful, and that's it. And
Mhm.
they can't do anything else. They can't cry. But I think it needs to be a shared responsibility for both men and women.
Yes.
Men should be able to express themselves and say what they want, say what they need. And if you're in a space where a person is telling
you're
you
in
you can't do that,
a
gentlemen,
telling
that's
you
the wrong
you
space to
can't
be
do
in.
that, Joe.
Because
That's
like
the
you,
wrong
twin,
place to
you're
be in.
teaching your boys to
Because like
feel.
you, twin,
And I
you're
think it's
teaching
the
your boys to
responsibility
feel.
of both
And I
men
think
and
it's the
women to express
responsibility of
what they
both men
need.
and
And
women to
so
express what
if
they
you
need.
need
And
something,
so if you
sometimes
need
men are
something,
often you're
sometimes
giving
you're,
so much.
you're,
It's
you're
okay to
getting so
say,
much.
I need a
It's
thank you.
okay to say,
That's
I
not
need to
weak to
thank you.
say that.
That's not weak
Why
to
don't we
say that.
say that? Why don't you
Why
say,
don't
well,
we
listen,
say
this
that?
is
Why
what I
don't you
need for
say,
you. I
well,
did all
this is
this
what
for
I
you.
need for you. I
I
did
need
all
some
this for you.
appreciation.
I
I
need
need
some
to open that door.
appreciation. I
I need you
open
to
that
get
door.
up.
You
Say
can
what you
get up.
need.
Yeah.
Say
I'm gonna
what you
start
need.
saying that today.
That's perfect.
You guys,
That's
look,
perfect.
it was awesome today. It was an awesome, awesome session, man. I really kind of opened up my guy Twin did. I want to represent everybody came to the table today. The nigga, lovely words, Mr. Nneka Owens. Niggas, check her out, man. Check her out. She's the coldest relationship therapist in the city. And I'm rocking with my guy Twin, who's the coldest chef all around Detroit. Make sure you tap in with Twin Tacos. You guys got anything going on for 313?
Yes, we
Yes, we
do.
do.
Grand
Grand
opening,
opening,
Twins
Twins
Tacos,
Tacos,
Celebrity
Celebrity
Chop,
Chop,
313
313
Day,
Day,
Belmont
Belmont
Shopping
Shopping
Center,
Center,
8
8
Mile
Mile
to
to
Splendor.
Splendor.
We
We
start
start
at
at
noon
noon
to
to 9 at
9
night.
Cool. How about you, Mr. Owens?
Well, just in terms of following
Following
me,
me,
Yes.
Instagram is my name, like first and last name, middle initial. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, just my name.
Cool.
Follow me, share, be therapy. I'm here to serve
Being
you.
there,
You got it. You heard it from the best. It's the two of the
you
best.
heard it
And
from the
you're rocking
best,
with
the two
Star
of the
Mike
best.
on the
And you're
Menu
rocking with
All Star
Star Mike on the Menu
Podcast.
All
We'll catch
Star
you on the next one.
Podcast.
Love you
We'll catch you
guys.
on the
And don't
next one.
forget,
Love you guys. And don't
subscribe,
forget,
subscribe. Hit that like
subscribe,
button.
subscribe, hit that like
Peace.
Peace
button.
out.
Peace.